A 13-year-old genius called 911 to report his little sister wasn't breathing, but he was only pretending to perform CPR as she lay dead beside him. What he told detectives next will haunt you forever. The 911 operator heard a teenage boy crying on the other end of the line. Paris Bennett told her his 4-year-old sister was not breathing. She instructed him to perform CPR immediately, but he refused. He insisted it was pointless, that she was already gone. The operator kept pleading, desperate to save the child. She did not realize Paris had killed Ella hours earlier. He was only pretending to perform CPR, holding the phone away while counting compressions he never actually delivered. His sister was dead, and he had staged the entire performance. Emergency responders arrived to find Ella Bennett face down on the floor. No one had touched her. No CPR had been given. Paris had fooled the operator completely. The 13-year-old genius had calculated every detail of his performance. He wanted to see if he could manipulate the system. He wanted to test his intelligence against the authorities. But the scene told a different story. Ella had been dead long before he picked up the phone, and Paris was not a grieving brother. He was a killer who had just failed to cover his tracks. Charity Bennett was working a double shift at a sports bar on Super Bowl Sunday. Around midnight, police officers walked through the door and asked for her by name. They told her daughter had been hurt. Charity demanded to be taken home immediately. The ride was silent. Officers refused to look at her. When they arrived, her house was surrounded by caution tape. News trucks lined the street. Neighbors watched from their porches. Charity begged for answers. Then she heard the words that shattered her world. Ella was dead. Charity watched helplessly as her daughter's body was carried out of their home in a black body bag. The bag was zipped to Ella's chin. Blood came from her mouth. Charity screamed apologies, collapsing onto the ground. She asked about Paris. Officers told her he was safe at the police station. Relief washed over her. But as she rode to the station, a strange coldness filled the air. Something felt off. This moment stirred memories from 3 decades earlier, when her own father had been murdered. In 1980, Charity was 6 years old. Her parents ran a trucking empire worth billions. Their marriage was chaotic, ending in divorce. But in March, they remarried in Las Vegas. 3 days later, Charity's father, James, was found dead. He had been shot 3 times, head, heart, and back. Suspicion fell on Charity's mother, Kyla. She was accused of paying $50,000 to have him killed. After an 11-day trial, Kyla was acquitted. The killer was never identified. The weapon was never recovered. Charity grew up surrounded by whispers and unanswered questions. Kyla returned to her life of luxury, controlling the entire trucking empire. But Charity was left neglected. Her mother fell into drinking and drugs. Classmates tormented Charity, saying her mother had killed her father. The whispers followed her everywhere. Charity struggled with addiction for years after high school. At age 18, she fought back. She got clean, earned a university degree in family development psychology, and built a new life. She believed she had escaped her family's dark history. She was determined to give her children the love she never received. Paris Bennett was born in 1993 with a 141 IQ. He was gifted, quiet, and adored by teachers. His sister Ella arrived in 2002, a lively social child who lit up every room. The 2 siblings were inseparable. Paris picked out Ella's clothes and watched over her while she slept. She trusted him completely. Charity worked 2 jobs to support them. She gave them everything she had. On Super Bowl Sunday 2007, the babysitter left early. Paris lied, saying Charity would be home soon. He had been planning this night for weeks. At the police station, Charity embraced her son. He was all she had left. But Paris did not hug her back. His arms hung at his sides. His face was emotionless. Charity knew something was wrong. She confronted him, saying she believed he killed his sister on purpose. In that moment, Paris dropped his act completely. His expression shifted. He looked at his mother and laughed. "Y'all are so fucking stupid," he said. Charity felt her world break apart again. Her son was not just guilty, he was proud of what he had done. Psychiatrists evaluated Paris and diagnosed him as a sociopath. He scored extremely high on the psychopathy checklist. His assessor told Charity the truth. Her son was a sociopath. He felt no guilt, no remorse. He killed Ella because he was curious about murder. In August 2007, Paris pleaded guilty to capital murder. He received 40 years, the maximum sentence for a juvenile. Charity did not try to save him. She wanted him to get help. She told the court she loved him, but he needed to face consequences for his actions. Charity visits Paris in prison and keeps her promise to be his mother. She established the Ella Foundation to prevent violence and share their story. She advocates for children's mental health rehabilitation. She promised Ella something meaningful would come from her death. "I can't change Paris today," Charity said, "but maybe by doing this, I can help change somebody else's child." The Bennett family has been haunted by murder for generations. Charity is determined to break the cycle, carrying Ella's memory with her every single day.